my mind work backwards just for a minute, I'd hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember, I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember. When I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind worked backwards just for a minute, I'd hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you.
Oh fuck.
When I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind worked backwards just for a minute, I'd hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember, I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember. When I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind worked backwards just for a minute, I'd hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember. let you fill up my lungs. And if my mind worked backwards just for a minute, I'd hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we...
G'day you good roosters, how we all going? Welcome to the May live stream. A week late this month, as of course I've been away in Italy, so I was there for quite some time, and what a time it was. Fantastic. Anyway, good to be home. Bit cold, I must confess, bloody freezing. I switched, too cold for the old Ronas, so I switched to the good old UTI. The girls know what the UTI is, but it's also a hazy IPA. Today a max apparition. Anyway, good to see everybody here. Steve, I'm sure you're busting to hear some of the stories, but definitely, what can I say about Italy as far as motorbikes go? Yeah, it's if you're into Italian bikes, it's a must-do trip. Bucket list, 100%. So, anyway, let's get down to it. I'll get into the Italy stuff a bit later, but first, some other motorbike news, racing news. Of course, MotoGP, the big news is that there's some major technical changes starting in 2026 season, I think. The big one being, of course, engine capacity is dropping to 850. So, you know, it's the idea is to slow the bikes down. They're getting too fast. I think they're doing well over 300 k's an hour on some of these straights now. So I want to slow them down. Now, they have been down in the 800, 850cc bikes in the past, in the 2000s. And so, you know, we'll see what happens there. 'Cause the top speeds have been a concern for quite some time. Hey, Q's here as well. Good to see you, Q. Cheers, mate. I know you like your hazies, just like me. Anybody else there, just say good day in the chat. Feel free, don't be shy. Good to know where you're from and who you are. But anyway, what are they doing? Apart from dropping the CC rating, of course, they're getting rid of some of the rider aids, like the launch mode, which I'm very happy about. I never agreed with the launch mode at all. Not that I carry much weight, but yeah, the launch mode's going. That's just great. I'm not a big fan of the rider aids. I seen the 502 straight years, and loved it. So the boys have got to be a bit more sensitive with the old throttle and the clutch. So g'day, Steve. Old wire hunt there from the deep south. Good to see you, mate. Been a while. Anyway, launch mode's going, so I won't be shedding tears over that. The wings are getting smaller, and there's some other bodywork dimensions that are also reducing, so that's great. 2024 season, of course, if you're like me and Steve, you know, we follow MotoGP pretty hard, and it's getting very interesting. There's going to be a big shuffle of riders at the end of the season, no doubt. And of course, the big question is, for Ducati, you know, who are they going to... they've got more riders, good riders to choose from than bikes for them to ride. So I see Jorge Martin has already given the Ducati Factory team a deadline to offer him a factory ride for next season. And that deadline is, ironically, the Italian GP. So Marquez, of course, he's back on the podium again, and it's been a long time for him between drinks. So there's at least two big guns vying for a Ducati bike factory ride next season. And of course, you know, there's 3 or 4 others. Pedro Costa, who's really, he's really a rookie season for him, but he's doing fantastic. So no shortage of quality riders to choose from. I think we see some big shuffling. You know, Jack Miller, you know, just every season he's getting further and further back, so he tends to fade in the races for whatever reason. So anyway, I think he'll end up in, if he stays in MotoGP, it might be for gas or something like that. What is that thing behind me? Richie, it's on Stretch there now. Stretch, some of you know Stretch. Stretch, he's in our riding group and rides with us all the time. So hopefully you can see that there's a motorbike behind me. That's the plan, and not a green screen. So yeah, I hope you had a beer, Stretch. Come on, break the ice. Stretch has been on the wagon for a while, you know, trying to get rid of that crutch rot. But oh yeah, g'day Mike. Mike's here too. Mike's another good rooster. Aero is changing also. Yeah, sorry, there's a bit of a delay, everybody. So for me, I adjusted some settings on the system, and I thought it would get rid of that latency, but obviously it hasn't. So anyway, maybe the live chat on my phone's going to work better. Yeah, I see that. What's in Alexis Spargo's retiring at the end of the season. He looks like shit anyway. He looks quite old. He looks a bit like me. So, yeah, MotoGP. It's a very interesting season, and I see I'm the only person doing anything in the MotoGP Guru website app. I see Steve, you haven't joined, so no chance of you of winning a bottle of rum at this stage. So you better join if you want to be into one. Yeah, MotoGP Guru. Just Google that, you'll see it. And of course, our league is Dusty Visor. What other racing news? Bermuda's announced it's getting back into the game, which is big news for me because I'm a big Bermuda fan. You might remember them from World Superbike back in the days, in the early days. I think they were right there from day one, racing the YB 2s or 3s or 4s, the Yamaha powered Bermudas. Stefan Mertens and David Tardosi. Anyway, they're getting back into the racing, World Superbikes to be exact. They made a deal with Kawasaki, so they're going to run Kawasaki powered bikes. That's pretty exciting. Bermuda have been away for quite some time. So, yeah. Anyway, there it is. It's all black and white. I remember watching them race in the first 2 years of World Superbikes at Mansfield back in the late 80s. I think 88, 89. So, yay! And there's Jos. So, most of you guys haven't met Jos yet. Jos is my old schoolmate from way back. He's living in Spain these days. And anyway, Jos still got bikes. He's had bikes pretty well right through RD 350s and Super Tenere. He's been all over the bloomin' Morocco and all that sort of stuff. He's ridden all through Europe. He was a motorcycle courier in London back in the late 80s, early 90s. And I want to get him on because, you know, the old motorbike couriers have all but gone now, and he was there right in the heyday. The old Kiwi boy zipping all over London. So anyway, it's good to see Jos. It's of course it's the morning for him living in Spain. So anyway, yeah, that's what's happening with the Burt, with Superbikes. But the Burt's coming up as well. We'll just go over some other news, and yeah, so the Burt's coming up, which is great. Let me just find it. There we go. So, yeah, sorry everybody. There's just a real big delay on the old chat. So, yeah, well, Jos has got. He's going to summer. We're going to winter, and I tell you what, it's bloody freezing at the moment. It's been single digits all week. So the dates are out for the next Burt Munro Challenge, 5th to the 9th of February, which is the same as this year, ironically. And so, put a face up in the Facebook group. We'll get the numbers for accommodation. Okay, I've still got a few beds left. Steve, I understand, but it's cool. We've still got a few beds left for that. So if you're thinking about going, even if you're watching this live stream later on, or just listening to the podcast, drop me a line on the Facebook or whatever, or you can put something in the chat here on YouTube and grab yourself a bed. It's pretty cheap. I'm not sure the exact price at the moment because it might have changed from last year, but you know, buying power because we're a reasonable amount of people. It worked out for 5 nights about $140 each total. So pretty good. Worked out very cheap. So yeah, don't be shy, get in. And of course, we've got great rides down there. There's hardly any traffic. The roads are pristine, I tell you, fantastic. Our accommodation, we've got a cool setup there. Some near new flats with off-street parking for the bikes. So if you think you might want to go, drop me an email or PM me or something like that. It's going to be epic. It really is. I look forward to it. And of course, the weather's normally sublime. Who's talking there, Mike? Oh, I didn't know that, Mike, that CMG got Bermudas. There. Well, I'm a big Bermuda fan. I'd love a DB1 in my collection. I'll settle for a DB2 or a Tessie, but DB1 I'd love in my collection. Mate, who knows? You never know, right? So, but anyway, there's the old Bert. That's a Tiratonga. There's old Kim there and Jeff. It was a bit of a wet day that day, but the racing was fantastic. Yeah, there's a bit of speedway stuff going on, super motardy looking bikes, and that was on the road down. Some of you have seen that video. Beautiful riding, just beautiful riding. It's a hell of a great trip, and there's not too many of us, you know, 6, 7 bikes, 8 bikes max. Great riding. So, really, really good. What else we got going on? Oh yeah, so other news about Kawasaki. We're talking about Kawasaki. I see it's dropped its New Zealand distributor. So now New Zealand dealers have to deal with Kawasaki Australia. So Kawasaki acknowledges the excellent service provided by the New Zealand distributor. Excuse me. But I guess the whole global thingy, you know, they're thinking like, oh, well, we'll zone the world up and have less people to deal with. Maybe, I don't know what their thinking is there. They can centralise everything and do as good a job from somewhere in Australia. So good luck with that. But anyway, I'll put a link in the description if you want to read more about Kawasaki distributorship leaving New Zealand. What else is happening? No one's talking. You still there, Yoss? Richard, you still there? You got a beer? The channel's getting close to 400 subscribers. So as you know, at every 100 subscribers, I do the milestone of 100 subs. I do a giveaway. So you've got to be subbed to be in to win. Prizes includes the hoodies, t-shirts, other bits and pieces of merch. Think Q. I think Little Ghost. Yeah. He even won a coffee mug there a few draws ago, but unfortunately it didn't make it through shipping, I don't think, and broke on him. So anyway, if you don't want to miss out on that chance to win free shit, so you need to be subscribed to the channel, and the results, once we hit 400, I'll draw after that, and they'll be on the Facebook page. Steve's talking about what the news about the CF Moto 450 MT in New Zealand. That just been released. I think I read yesterday they'd sold 80 of them in New Zealand already. So, yeah, a lot of people, a lot of hype about them. So we'll see. Yeah, they did sell quite a few. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay, I'm just reading your stuff there. Yoss says that there's a Tessie for sale in Madrid at the moment. I'm picking €28,000. Little Ghost. Oh yeah, the cup. Yeah, mate, glue that handle together. I've only got, well, I think I've got one, or maybe 2 left. But I might do another run. If I do another run, I'll get you another one. I'll hand it to you live somewhere. Because we haven't done any riding together yet, Q. And I did enjoy You're definitely in my old backyard in that last video when you stayed at Mount Nimrod and all those back roads through there, Backline Road, all that sort of stuff. We did Backline Road, the whole thing, not last winter, 2 winters ago, in the middle of winter. And it was quite interesting with the old road tyres, but we all made it right through. But yeah, there's a few other little roads. You pretty much covered everything. There's but yeah, if you turn off down Woolshed Valley Road, then you don't get, it's a bit more curvy rather than turning off at Makiki and heading to Hunter. Let me just check on something. La gente escuchan todo, Lupin. Lupin, están escuchando todo. Okay, let's talk about Italy. What can I say? It was a bucket list trip. We went over for 5 weeks, 4 full weeks in Italy. Stayed in Bologna, that was our base. Fantastic. Had a couple of beers with the Pope in Rome and then shot up to Bologna. Went through the Ducati Factory, and I can tell you right now that, well, for me, was, yeah, that was quite a thing. The factory tour, and then the Ducati Museum. So yeah, got to see some Ducatis being born, basically. Interesting. The motorbike, the motor part, all girls. Only girls doing the motorcycle, the engine assembly. And yeah, don't want to say too much because I'll make a good video about it. But they have basically 2 little production liney things, whatever you call them. One of them solely for multi-stratas. So that's how many multi-stratas they're selling. And yeah, so it was very interesting. Also went up to Lake Como, Mandello del Lario, got to there, and in fact there it is there, Mandello del Lario. Beautiful place. There's all sorts of bikes there. Mandello del Lario is on Lake Como, which sort of just about borders up with Switzerland. And a little bit like Queenstown, actually. So yeah, it's there in a weekend, and of course it's springtime, late spring over there. And we're on a Sunday morning, we stayed at a place called Lecco. Lecco's one of the main towns at the bottom end of the lake. You got Como on the bottom of one arm, and then Lecco's on the bottom of another arm. Anyway, Lecco is quite reasonable size, and sitting there on the wall next to the lake, watching all the bikes, and there would have been here where this one is, there would have been 300 bikes all along the boulevard, all parked up, and people going to the cafes. Bikes from all over the Europe, mostly Italian ones. But to be fair, interesting observation, pretty much everybody was like me, grey hair. And there were a lot of older guys with the old girl on the back. You know, like 50, 60-year-old plus woman hopping off the back. And they just, you know, everybody's hanging out. Saw some pretty exotic bikes, saw plenty of MV Agustas, plenty of Guzzi Mandellos, of course. I'll probably send a dozen of those. What else? It was at the Mondial. It's in the Mondial. You don't see many of those. Yeah. Anyway, it was pretty cool. It was way cool, actually. What else we got there? Yeah, some more photos of Italy. It's just a beautiful place to visit. Definitely pizza and passed it out. I think there's no doubt that pizza come from Italy and was not an American invention, because it's freaking everywhere, and they're good, but they are everywhere. Yeah. See, the old DB1s are getting up in price, all right. Low K one there though. Hard to find one for 2,500 Ks. £23,000, Yoss. Get it for me for Christmas. Oh, my birthday's coming up, mate. It's a funny thing. So, yeah, you're talking about in Italy there, around Lake Como. Lake Como reminded me a lot of around Queenstown. Very, very similar. The big mountains, like big mountains up behind it, and it's a mountain lake and all that. Yeah, and we travel by train everywhere. So Bologna, sort of central in the north. You could go to Venice. It was only an hour and a half on the train. It was an hour 15 to Milan. Modena was the next stop up the way. So, of course, went to the Ferrari Museum, which I'm not a car guy, but it was interesting, eh? It was a very good museum. So, fuel was a little bit more expensive than New Zealand, actually, I think, if I remember rightly. Petrol. But I was a little bit disappointed in New Zealand because I was in Venice, right? Now, Venice is a freaking island, right? There's no cars or anything on it. Everything's got to get carted in there on sack barrows, you know, hand carts. So I stuck my head in a fruit and veg shop and checked the price of kiwi fruit and that. Cheaper than New Zealand, cheaper than my local women's supermarket. I was pretty gutted about that. And in Bologna, our local supermarket, a big bottle of Peroni, like a big bottle, $1.40. Yeah, so something's not right. But also, I did find Coronas over there also now, and somebody told me that the only ones brewed out of the side of Mexico is in China for the New Zealand Australian market. Well, not so, because Coronas that we drunk in Italy were brewed, and it just says brewed in the EU, so it didn't say where, but so there you go. It's a bit of a myth, that thing about Corona's only been always made in Mexico. So yeah, what else can I say? Oh yeah, so motorbikes, obviously a big thing over there. Everybody, whether into bikes or not, they all know who Valentino Rossi is and all that sort of stuff. All the streets and all the towns were cobblestones, so a lot of people riding scooters, all those cafe racer or more naked. I see why monsters are so popular, because you want something to be zipping around town, not all tucked over like you're going to go 100 miles an hour. So Tuscany, bumped into some bike riders in Tuscany, some guys riding their bikes in Tuscany. Oh, that's Mandello on Lake Como. There's towers there. Bumped into these guys over in Tuscany. They were riding around everywhere, and so it's good to chat to them. Yeah. So anyway, I'm walking around. Back to our apartment thingy in Bologna, in a sort of a back street, you know, and I see the sign up saying Reno's Garage, and I went, oh yeah, but I couldn't see any big doors, you know, cars or anything in and out. I thought, what the hell is that? And I seen a motorbike in the window, so I stuck my head in there, and bloody hell, it's full of Ducatis. So I got talking to the guy. Here he is here. And probably, I don't know if it's a very good picture of him, but anyway, his name is Stefano Caracci, and the C in Caracci is the C out of NCR Racing. So his dad was Reno Caracci. And anyway, stopped in to see him. We talked for hours, because same sort of generation, racing around the racing time, late 80s into the early 90s. Now Stefano was also a racer, and he ended up running a team, obviously a Ducati team. But he was a racer, and so he went to Daytona. So before Battle of the Twins, it was called Pro Twins. 1988, the first year that the 4-valve head 851 Ducatis came out, he raced and got second. He got pipped at the post, but got second on one, and it was a standard 851. Although they re-chipped it, but that was the only thing that was non-standard. So quite a cool guy, or a very cool guy actually. Went and saw him several times, and we kind of ended up sort of being mates, really. Yeah, everybody knows him. It's been the racing game. So, yep, Reno Karachi, and that's his son there, Stefano. So, just these little things that you unexpected surprises you get when you go on these trips, eh? It's pretty amazing. I know, Q, I hear, I know what you're saying. I confess, I didn't get to ride anywhere. And when I seen those young fellas in Tuscany there, oh, yeah, I wanted to hop on a bike, but yeah, I really wanted to. Then I hoped that maybe Stefano would find me a Ducati somewhere and let me ride it, but no, he's got a Buell, and he rides a Buell around. So, anyway, I'll be doing a bunch of videos on the whole trip coming up soon when I get time. So, yeah. What else been happening? Anybody else got anything interesting been happening? I'm thinking about getting one of those air vests, those safety vest things. I've been thinking about getting one of those. Anybody's had any experience with them? Yeah, I don't know. You get an RI helmet over there for I think it's €400. So, anyway, let's see what else everyone's got. Has got. Don't forget the Burt. You know, whoever wants to go to the Burt. I do have a few spare rooms, beds there. Yeah, I would like to go back, Q, because there was stuff I didn't do. I really wanted to go and see the Laverda factory, the MV Agusta factory, and also Bermuda. I could have gone and see Bermuda. Would have been a train ride and then about a €80 taxi one way. So you double that to get back to the train station. So this wasn't practical, so I didn't bother doing it. And also there's a National Motorcycle Museum, but you need your own car for that. It's in the middle of nowhere, so. But yeah. Yeah, like I say, Q, a reason to go back again. So. Yeah. Not much else really been happening. I've only been back a week, so it's freezing over here at the moment, so I haven't had the bikes out. Threw them all on the charger and topped them up. I think it's have a day go coming up at Ruapuna. If anybody wants to jump on the track and have a go on the race track, Glenn Corson, a guy I know, he's about our age, and he's still racing and riding every weekend if he's not on his race bike. He's doing a bit of a helping out with that if you want to get started and don't know how it all works. Q, I know you've done a bit of racing, you know how it all works. So yeah, Q, well it's same dates as last year, 5th till the 9th. So we're going to go down the 5th and come back on the 10th. So we get the full, we don't have to leave in the middle of the racing on Sunday. And there'll be less traffic on the road on the Monday, so, you know. No, I would like to go to the Alpha Museum as well, you know. I like the old Alphas. There's a lot of Alphas over there that we've seen. So, yeah. Yeah, Gash, it's, what is it, Ashburton, I think it's Ashburton Suzuki does gas now. And they've been selling quite a few of them, so, yeah, that's great. Yeah, I know what you mean, QA. Racing's another thing altogether. That's for sure. I really enjoyed it as well, so. Yeah. Anyway. What else? Oh, there's a guy now, Stretch knows this guy, Vince Sharp. Vince was a big racer back in the day. He's still about. And so he's made us stretches, and he was going to come down with us to the Burt this last year, but something come up and he couldn't make it. So he could be on the cards to come down with us this next year. So, and yeah, it'd be interesting hearing some of his stories. He used to race with Neville Hiscock and all the two Hiscock brothers, Glenn Williams, those guys. So just that generation before me and you, Q, probably. So yeah, quite interesting. There's an American guy in Wellington racing electric bikes, saying they can't use them on the tracks. Maybe there's no class for them, and so they got nobody to race with or something. I don't know, but I don't know. Wrong generation, I think, for me. Are you interested in them, Q, the electric bikes? They need to have a little recording of a proper motor on them, so you can hear them coming. Otherwise, they'll just be like, zzz. You know. So yeah, I don't know. Just the guess generation I'm at. Yeah, Gas is owned by KTM, isn't it? What else, Yoss? What's happening over your way? I've run out of things to talk about. Normally takes me about an hour, but we're half an hour into it and I'm done. I'll sit here and drink beer while you guys talk. Steve, what's it like having your license back, mate? You enjoying it? You got some good roads over there, especially in that South Australia, when it's not raining or blowing. Yeah, I'd love to ride over there. What about going to a MotoGP? I've always wanted to go and do a MotoGP. I thought about doing Phillip Island, but it's so expensive, and I crunched the numbers. It's actually cheaper to go and do Indonesia or Thailand. Now, the Indonesia one's on the next island next to Bali, so you could go in through Bali and, you know, you could do a good couple of weeks, go and watch the racing and then have a week mucking around in Bali. The Thai one is, again, not near Bangkok, it's out of Bangkok. Or even the Malaysian one. The Malaysian one's up near Kuala Lumpur. Malaysia's a pretty cool place. So, what does everybody reckon? Do we need to organise a trip? Yeah, I'm probably a bit spent this year now, so we'll have to wait till next year. Yeah, I'll have another beer for you, Stretch. Yeah, the electric bikes, they seem to be quite interesting. I mean, they're racing them now. They have that, I think the week before MotoGP, they have the e-moto racing. So I wonder how they how electronically work the traction. Traction control will be the big thing for the electric bike, because it's, you know, electric power is instant. I know that because I went for a ride in a Tesla S when I was in the States, and holy heck, it does, what's it do? Friggin' crazy stupid. Takes under 3 seconds to get to 100. You just end up with tunnel vision and the G's. I don't know how many G's they're pulling. So yeah, they go, that's for sure. Okay. Oh, that's right. So that guy Vince Sharp is coming down in November, so he must be coming down for the the end of October, so he must be coming down for the Southern Classic. Southern Classic, if you don't know it, biggest classic motorbike meeting in New Zealand, so anything pre-94 or 97, and they have stuff, anything you can imagine. 1914 Rudges and everything there, right through. Of course, all my F1s and our Panthers. There's Steve, plenty of Panthers about, 2-valve Ducatis and stuff, and it's a big freaking meeting. So Stretch is saying he might be coming down. That's good. Yeah, what are you drinking at the moment, Q? You on the IPAs at the moment? It's cold enough, isn't it? Yeah, Steve. Well, yeah, maybe if you know the drill over there. I presume you've been to a couple of GPs, so you know you could hold a hand and show us how it all works. I know I met Casey Stoner a couple of times. I've got his number there, but I don't know him well enough to ring him up and ask him for a bed. So. Yeah, Yoss has got a mate in London that's got a whole bunch of Ducatis and that, and so I think they're going to go. Supposed to be doing some riding for Europe this year, this summer or whatever. But Yoss's shoulder's out. He's had an operation on his shoulder. So. Good. I just made some adjustments on the streaming software to try and lose that latency, but it doesn't seem to have worked very well. So, Yoss for Spain to be in New Zealand in July, and you canned it. No, I'll come in November or come in October, and that and we'll go to the Southern Classic. So anyway, these other videos I'm going to make, I'll do one on Bologna and Ducati, because there was a Ducati Factory Museum, and then there's just around the corner there's a Ducati Factory shop, which is not actually part of the same complex, just around the corner. I'll do a comprehensive video on all that. If you're not riding, you know, if you're just staying in Bologna or something, how do you get there? Because you just catch a bus from downtown and freaking you're right there. There's even a bus stop that's called Ducati. So I'll do a 999 and a 749. And he was saying that they had the 749. They got an extra 749, I think, supposedly from the factory. It's about 114 horsepower. Well, they mucked around with it, and they ended up getting 144 horsepower out of it. But there was too much strain on the engines, and they were cracking frickin' engine cases quite a lot. So, but he said they would do a full rebuild after each race weekend, and yeah, he said that it was quite hard on the motors, but they managed to get 40 something. Well, another 40 horsepower out of them, which is quite a lot. Have I busted any bones from bikes? Touch wood. Touch wood. No. Short answer. Short answer, no, it's not so far. I've lost plenty of skin. Haven't had any major ones, luckily. I twisted an ankle when I was racing Sound of Thunder at Rapuna one year, or did something to my ankle, I don't know, didn't ever break anything, but no, touch wood. Don't intend to either if I can. Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting, Steve, he was saying that 999 749 engine was the best engine ever. He said it was beautiful. He said that whole bike. He said people didn't like the Cyclops headlights, but he said the race fairing one, he said, is still, as far as he concerned, the most beautiful bike. He loved it. Yeah, and he reckoned It's just beautiful. And he says he loved that motor. Yeah, probably Josh can't even drive his Charger at the moment. Probably wouldn't be too many Chargers around in his part of Europe. But he's had a shoulder operated on, so. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Collarbone, punctured lung, and 3 broken ribs. Oh, I hope that wasn't all in one sitting. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. As I get older, I'll get one of those air vest things and that. They're freaking expensive though, but what do you do? I guess they're playing on that. So, but anyway, yeah, I'm thinking about getting one of those vests. Well, I hope you didn't get all those in one go. What are you drinking at the moment, Q? Oh. All in 2 goes. Home brewed bourbon. That sounds nice. Ah, Stevie, you did all that in one go. Sounds painful. I presume it was you come off a bike or what? Frickin', I've heard ribs are bad, and painful. I don't want to even find out. I don't have that particularly high pain threshold. But yeah. Anyway. Well, if people haven't got much more to talk about, we can shut it down. We'll keep an eye out for the videos. There'll be definitely some good, solid tips in there for if you're considering going. Because I couldn't find any in any of the Facebook groups anybody give me any tips about what about over there, and I've got a whole bunch of them that I've freaking worked out while I was there, including merch. So I found a shop that wasn't at Ducati. I found a shop in Bologna, and they had Ducati merch that they didn't even have at the shop, at the factory. And I am just reading about your crash, Steve. Yeah, I know. They reckon it's the breathy part. Oh, that's a shame, mate. Writing off that beautiful Panigale. Anyway, there's merch, and it was a lot of stuff on special and cheap. So, but doesn't matter if it's special or cheap. I still spent fucking over $1,000 on freaking Ducati this and Ducati that. So I even got some Ducati jandals there, some flip flops. But yeah, definitely a awesome trip, and with plenty of stuff that I found over there, and especially Ducati stuff. We went to a theme park, like a venture park for the kids and that. And inside the park, there was a big section of it called Ducati World, and that's where you could go and they had a ride like a roller coaster, which was you sat on like a Panigale, and it was a roller coaster. It was really, really fun, really good. And they had those simulator things. You sit on the bike and you can lean the bike over, and the screen's in front of you. That was pretty cool as well. That's right, Q. Old Itchy Boots just come a cropper. And she broke a collarbone, and I think she broke a bone in her foot, but she ended up in plaster. But yeah, badly broke a collarbone, and she flew back to Netherlands to get it fixed, and so she was wandering around with a broken collarbone for about 12 days, I think she said. So yeah, that was. Yeah, I think she's scrapping that the rest of the Africa trip. Well, she did say that she'd been on the road for 5 years and that, so she might be taking a break, and that she's swapping out the Honda for something else, which, you know, I suppose that Honda had a hard life, but anyway. The merch shop. Don't have a merch shop. Don't have a merch shop. I should set one up. You can, I think off the Facebook you can see. But yeah, no, I need to set up a proper shop for hoodies and shirts and that. You know, just like this one. Where's this one? There we go. Get the big patch on the back. Yeah. You know. Or you can always win one, Steve. I'll send one over to Australia if you win. But I do the draw completely objectively, randomly, whatever you call it. I go and find out all the subscribers, how many I've got, and then I just tell the freaking little website page, you know, give me 12 numbers between 1 and whatever that subscriber number is, and they pop up those numbers, and then I match them up, and that's how I pick it out. So, but yeah, try and keep it like that. I used to use my. You're not still in plaster, are you, Steve? I didn't realise that this is a new thing. The way I read it was something that happened some time ago. Are you all banged up now? Yeah. Okay. No, you just learnt to use. You just went ambidextrous. Yeah, mate. I feel your pain. Well, Q, let me know what's your next trip, Q? Do I need to be looking out for you? You're heading south again any time? I'm going to have one more UTI. Well, there's a shit pork on. Too embarrassed to hold that one up in front of everybody. Okay, you're going to go Westport. Yeah, that's, again, like I know we talk about this all the time, that Westport to Karamea, freaking stunning road. And those last videos. Yoss and anybody else that's listening on that. Little Ghost, aka Q. He's got an awesome YouTube channel. The guy, his wife is a saint, because he's every weekend he's riding somewhere, and I don't see her on the back. So he goes wherever he wants, and he's living the dream, I guess. Q racks up some big Ks on that beautiful Grizzo of his, and yeah, if you want to see some interesting New Zealand places and rides that you can do on a road bike, although I must admit Q does push the envelope a bit, especially around out the back of Hamner and on the up the Clarence and all that. But anyway. He's got a cool channel. Yeah, he's got a pretty cool style of videoing. He does a lot of rallies also. And of course he likes a beer or two in the evening, so yeah, check it out. Yeah. That's it right there, Little Ghost. Just click on Little Ghost and you'll take you straight to him. So Q, the guy I'm talking about, Q is Little Ghost. That's who I'm talking to. And yeah, he's pretty laid back, cool way of getting around, and yeah, he's got, I don't know, it's a good channel. I enjoy watching his videos. So it's like, where's Q been now? And sure enough, there'll be some road, you know, half of it's on gravel and half of it's on highway. You'll be finding some back way to get around to here or there. So, oh, Lees Valley. Can you get right through Lees Valley? Do you pop out at Lowburn or something like that? I'm not too sure. I know there's a pass that drops you into the Hurunui also, isn't there? Yeah, Steve, I think we get coordinated and get you over here. And I tell you, you want to do the Burt. One, because it's an awesome week. But two, it's at the bottom of the South Island, so you can go down one side and up the other. And three, it's in February, which is the most stable month of the year for weather. And I kid you not, it's... even as far as south as there, you'll get 25 to 30 degree days. So that's when you want to try and do it, if you can do it. And then of course we'll be able to hook up and show you all around the place. Easy. Came out near Oxford. I'll have to get on Google Earth and have a look at that. Lowburn and White Rock. Quite like going around, turning off at Oxford and going through the, you know what I mean, Q. Turn off at Oxford there and go around past Ashley Gorge and all that. It's quite a good little road, that. Keep an eye out for tractors and that's it. Yeah, Steve, we'd have to make a video about that one too. The visiting rooster. Have a good excuse for everybody to get together, Q. So you can take Steve around and we'll make sure he covers all the ground. Get Yoss to come back and while there's some good riding weather in summer. Get out of the northern winter. So yeah, I'm looking at those vests seriously. I'll let you know about the vests. Yeah, Q, I look forward to seeing your video on Lees Valley. Yeah, well, there's plenty of motorbike hire places in New Zealand, and then they're reasonably priced too. But yeah, you can hire out of Auckland and ride it right through. You've been to Invercargill, you poor bugger. Well, because it wasn't the Burt week probably, but... All right, guys. Well, let's wind her up, eh? Good to see everybody. I'll be back to the third week of the month, so third week of the month in June. be the next live stream. Hopefully I got something to talk about, because it's been bitterly cold this last week. I haven't even thought about getting the bike out, but anyway, we'll see. Oh yeah, a little wee gas cylinder. Yeah, I think the expensive ones have a little GPS electronic sensor thing in it, and it learns. It's connected to the internet and learns, and it gyroscopes and stuff. But if it fires off, it costs you $150 to get another cartridge. Alright guys, we'll talk soon. Send me a PM on the face or here if you want to talk about anything else anymore. And catch you in the next live stream in not a month's time now, is it? It's about 3 weeks' time. So I bet a good excuse to get the bike out. So I got something to talk about. So anyway, thanks for coming on, everybody. Stretch and Yoss and Steve and Stephen, Watch Wire Hunt, Q, thanks a lot. Anybody else that's watching this not live later on, then come and join us and have a couple of beers and just talking in motorbikes. Yeah, good to see everybody again. Good to be home, and yeah, good to be talking to you blokes on the live stream. All right, well, ride safe, everybody. I'll catch you in the next live stream. Look out for those videos. I should have 1 or 2 done before the next live stream. So Italy, yeah, blew my mind. It was amazing. Right, guys, catch you later. Cheers.